What if the result you were praying against was actually the answer to a prayer you forgot you made? What if the moment you said, why did Allah do this? That was actually the most important spiritual question you have ever asked in your entire life. What if that football match, that one result, that one moment of shock and disbelief was not about football at all? What if Allah used 90 minutes on a grass field to wake up millions of hearts that had been sleeping for years? You see, we get so emotionally invested in outcomes that we forget absolutely nothing happens outside the permission of Allah. Not a leaf falls from a tree without His knowledge. So what makes you think a ball crossing a line is any different? Stay with me, because what I am about to share will completely change the way you look at every single result in your life. Not just in football, in your marriage, in your career, in your health, in your relationships. Every outcome, every disappointment, every unexpected victory, it all points to one truth that most people are too distracted to see. And by the end of this, you will never ask, why did Allah do this the same way again? Let's begin. What if everything you thought was a loss was actually Allah's greatest gift to you in disguise? What if the very thing that broke your heart, the result you didn't expect, the outcome you prayed against, the moment that left millions of people silent and confused, what if that was not cruelty, but the most precise, most calculated, most merciful act of the most wise? We live in a world today where human beings have become so emotionally attached to outcomes that when reality doesn't match expectation, the first question we ask is not, what is Allah teaching me? The first question we ask is, why did Allah do this? And that single question, that raw, honest, sometimes angry question, reveals something deeply important about where we are spiritually. Let me take you somewhere today. Let me take you beyond the 90 minutes. Let me take you beyond the scoreboard. Let me take you to a place of understanding that will completely transform how you experience every single result in your life, not just in football, not just in sport, but in everything that matters. You see, there is a concept in our beautiful religion called Qadar, divine decree. And Qadar does not mean that things just randomly happen. Qadar means that before this universe was even created, before the first star was ignited, before the first human breathed, Allah sat with His infinite knowledge and wrote everything. Every birth, every death, every victory, every defeat, every match, every moment of joy, every moment of heartbreak. It was all written. Now when we say this, some people get uncomfortable. They say, but then what is the point? If everything is written, why do we even try? And this is where the beauty of our faith becomes absolutely breathtaking, because Qadar is not about removing your effort. Qadar is about trusting the result after the effort. You train, you prepare, you give everything you have, and then you surrender the outcome to the one who knows what is best, not just for you, but for everyone connected to that moment. Spain, one of the most powerful football nations on earth, a team with history, a team with talent, a team with preparation and skill and passion. And you look at that team and you say, they will win. And maybe they do, maybe they don't. But here is the question that nobody is asking in the stadiums, in the living rooms, in the coffee shops, where people are screaming at their television screens. Here is the question that cuts deeper than any scoreline. What was Allah intending with this result? You see, when a powerful nation, a powerful team, a powerful person becomes too confident, when the word will replaces the word inshallah, Allah has a beautiful, sometimes painful, always purposeful way of reminding us who is actually in control. History is not just the story of human achievement. History is the story of Allah's divine management of human affairs. Every empire that said we cannot fall, fell. Every army that said we cannot lose, lost. Not because Allah wanted to humiliate them, but because arrogance is a spiritual disease, and the cure sometimes comes in the form of an unexpected result on an unexpected day. This is not about Spain. This is not about football. This is about you. This is about the last time something didn't go your way and your first response was anger instead of acceptance. This is about the last time you said, why did Allah do this to me? Instead of, what is Allah trying to show me through this? And here is something that will shock you. Here is something that the majority of people completely miss when they face disappointment. Ready? What if the thing you lost was protecting you from something worse that you would have gained? What if Spain, losing a match, kept a player free from an injury that would have ended their career? What if a defeat kept a nation humble enough to return to Allah, to return to gratitude, to return to recognizing that talent without gratitude becomes arrogance? What if the result that broke your heart was actually the result that saved your soul? We are so short-sighted. We operate with such limited vision. We see today Allah sees eternity. We see 90 minutes. Allah sees the entire story, every chapter, every verse, every word, every full stop. And when He writes a result that surprises us, He is not confused, He is not making a mistake. He is the Al-Hakim, the Al-Wise. And His wisdom is so vast, so deep, so multidimensional that sometimes the greatest mercy looks like the biggest loss. But let us go even deeper. Because there is another dangerous thing happening in our communities today. And it is this. The level of emotional investment people put into football compared to the level of emotional investment they put into their relationship with Allah. People cry when their team loses. Real tears, uncontrollable grief. They stay up all night. They cannot eat. They feel devastated for days. And yet these same people struggle to feel anything in their prayers. These same people cannot remember the last time they cried in sujood. These same people have not opened the Quran in weeks, months, sometimes years. Now I am not here to judge. I am here to ask, what has happened to us? What has happened when a ball crossing a line produces more emotional response than the words of Allah entering our hearts? What has happened when a sports result generates more passion than the remembrance of the one who created us? Allah is al-Latif, the most subtle. He works in ways that are so gentle, so precise, so perfectly timed that you don't always recognize His intervention until later, sometimes much later. And one of the ways He gets our attention, one of the ways He shakes us out of our spiritual sleep is by allowing the things we are attached to in this dunya to fall short of our expectations. A team loses and suddenly millions of people are asking questions, big questions, questions about destiny, questions about fairness, questions about why things happen. If you are asking those questions, if your heart is open enough to wonder, then you are closer to Allah than you think. Because the person who never questions is the person who never seeks. And the person who seeks, Allah promises, will find. Now let us talk about what the correct response looks like. Because our faith is not just about theology. It is about character. It is about how you behave when things go wrong. If your team wins, be grateful. Not arrogant, not mocking, not rubbing it in the faces of those who lost. Gratitude, humble, sincere, heartfelt gratitude to the one who allowed this victory. If your team loses, be patient, not bitter, not blaming, not catastrophizing. Patience, dignified, beautiful, faith-filled patience that says Allah knew, Allah willed. And in that, there is wisdom I may not yet understand. Both gratitude and patience are acts of worship. Both connect you to Allah. Both reflect the character of a believer. And Allah is watching, not the scoreboard. Allah is watching your heart's response to the scoreboard. That is what matters. That is what is being recorded. Not the goals, your response to the goals. And here is the final truth that I want to leave sitting in your heart today. The truth that ties everything together. This world, this dunya, is not the final destination. It is a journey. It is a test. It is a series of experiences designed to reveal who we truly are and what we truly love. And Allah, in His infinite mercy, keeps sending us reminders, sometimes through beauty, sometimes through loss, sometimes through a football match that doesn't go the way we planned. Every why did Allah do this is an invitation to go deeper, an invitation to trust more, an invitation to loosen your grip on the outcomes of this world and tighten your connection to the one who controls all outcomes. Every unexpected result is Allah whispering, sometimes shouting, remember me, return to me, trust me. So the next time something doesn't go your way, the next time a result shocks you, a door closes on you, a plan falls apart, instead of asking, why did Allah do this? Try asking, what is Allah showing me through this? That one shift, that one change of question, that one reorientation of your heart, that is where transformation begins. That is where faith becomes real. That is where you stop being a passenger in your own life and start understanding that you are held, completely, perfectly, lovingly held in the hands of the most merciful. So we began with a question, why did Allah do this? And we end with an answer, because He loves you enough to not give you everything you want, but always give you everything you need. Spain may win, Spain may lose, nations rise, nations fall, teams celebrate, teams grieve. But through all of it, through every 90-minute match, through every moment of this short, precious life, Allah remains Al-Qadir, the All-Powerful. Allah remains Al-Alim, the All-Knowing. Allah remains Al-Wadud, the most loving. Trust His plan, not because it is easy, but because it is perfect. Not because you always understand it, but because the one who wrote it understands everything. The scoreboard of this dunya is temporary. The record of your faith, your patience, your gratitude, your character, that is eternal. And that is the match that truly matters.